Hey, look where I am today. This is like uncharted territory because I don't go in thrift stores anymore. I bulk purchase in pallets, so I don't really have to go sourcing. But I figured for some of my newer viewers and people who haven't been around a while, let's take a trip in the day before a half off sale and see if they're stocking it and if you can get good deals the day before half off. So it's Tuesday. Normally Wednesday is 50% off. So I'm gonna go in and see if you can get some deals before they all go on sale. Okay, so this store is kind of set up furniture and electronics on this side. Lots of furniture, very few other electronics and stuff. And then all the rest closed back there and closed back over there. Like literally no electronics. Just some little small appliances and then closed. So like I said, there's not a lot of hard goods and electronics. This is just kind of junk piled up. I found some clothes I'll show you guys in a minute, but I recommend, garage sales, estate sales, yard sales for this type of material. Otherwise, this store and a lot of the stores around me won't be good for this type of material. As I said before, they have an entire kids and women's section of clothes and shoes over there. All right, so first on the list was this Beach Boys World Tour 1988 shirt, but don't be fooled. Usually you can see the tag looks newer, definitely not 1988, right? And when you look over here, you can see it has double stitching. When you hear people talk about single stitch or double stitch, you can check and learn how to tell these. I looked these up, I'll put comps on the screen, and it's normally the Hanes one. They're worth about 40 to 50 bucks. This Gildan one is basically worthless, and yeah. And that's probably why it's still on the rack, and they were asking $5. You'd be lucky to get 10 or 12 out of this shirt. So this is where you got to learn, and experience will teach people that. So there you go on that one. Now I know a lot of you don't sell men's clothing, a lot of you sell women's clothing, but if you don't sell men's clothing, or you do, big, unique, loud, bright tropical shirts can do well. This is $7. This is probably a $25 shirt. It is, I believe this is a 2XL. Yeah, 2XL. And if you got this on half off day for $350, you'd be in even better shape. So if we do the math on this at 25, it's going to cost you $4 to ship, and on 25 the fees are about $350, so that's $750, which is going to leave you about $17.50 on this shirt. If you bought it for $7, you'd make about $10 to $11. If you were able to get it for $350, you can make about $13 to $14, which was really what I would target on these shirts. I would try to target $22 average sale prices, $24, and profit about $12. That was really my goal when I sold these. If you fill a store with these have a pretty good sell-through rate. Not necessarily this brand, just loud Caribbean shirts for men. If you see these and you can get them for under $5, 7 is pushing it, but if you can get it for 5 or less, generally they're a $20 to $25 item, especially if you can do 2XLs. Now another one that you guys may or may not have seen before or not familiar with, this is a Wrangler 2XL Western shirt, and it looks like that Aztec. Aztec is the keyword, and that will give you pretty much these type shirts, and generally these are an easy 20, no problem. Almost always 25 plus. You can get up to 30 for some of these. With this one being in good shape, 2XL, good colors, I would ask $29.99, try to get 25, 26. And again, this one is $7, so same kind of profit margin, maybe a couple bucks more than the other one. This brand kind of dead, but I still did okay on them. The Cuba Vera XLs, you can ask $19.99, and generally people will pay full price at $19.99. You're in, these ones I probably wouldn't pay $7 if I got them half off, $3.50. $4 to ship, off of the 20 is 16, $3.50 off leaves me $12.50, less the fee, about $8, $9 in profit, but it still sells pretty well. Now it's a shame because this is Tommy Bahama, and it has this company on it, the Carne Chop House. This is an employee shirt. There was like 10 of these. Unfortunately, with this on it, they're not really desirable, especially not for $7. I wouldn't even pay $3.50 for them. But yeah, if you could have got these plain shirts, you can get 20 for Tommy Bahama, $19.99 plain without that logo. Then if we come over here and we get, like this, there's the example of plain. Okay. But if you can find one that's got big, crazy Tommy Bahama Hawaiian on it, you can ask 25 for these. So same kind of margin as the other ones that we saw just a second ago. All right, so headed out of that store, I'm gonna wrap this video up with you a little bit, when I get to the car, a little bit of kind of like a summary video of how somebody could build this into actually sustainable business and money. Let's go check it out. All right, so long story short, if you could go in a store like this, and I know those of you that sell women's clothes or shoes could add on to this, but let's say you could pull out 5 or 6 men's shirt and 5 or 6 women's items or shoes, and you could come out of every store with 10 items that you were targeting a $10 or $12 profit. Let's just say 11, and you could come out with at least 10 items. That's $110 in the store. If we're operating at 50%, we're selling them for $22, $24. That means in a store, we're getting $220 to $230 worth of gross sales and $110 to $120 worth of profit. I was in that store all of 20 minutes. If I'd spent 40 minutes in there, taking out men's, women's, etc., less than an hour in a store, go to 3 stores in a day, right? Come out with 30 items. And of those 30 items, you're looking now at probably somewhere around $600 to $700 in gross sales and a profit of hopefully $300 plus for 3 hours of work between driving between the stores and going in and then getting home. Now you have to list those 30 items, and if you're good and you can do 6 or 8 items in an hour, then of course you're looking at 4 or 5 hours to get all these listed, maybe a little more. So your 3 hours of shopping, your 4 or 5 hours of listing, you've got a full-time job of 8 hours. But if your average cost of goods is right around $4, you've only spent $120 to make $200 or $300 in profit. And if you can just do that 3 times a week, because packing and shipping really amounts to nothing if you're just shipping a few items. If you could just do that 3 times a week, that's 24 hours a week, right? In 24 hours in a week, you could potentially make a few $100s per week in profit that eventually your store will build up and you'll make more. But as you get rolling, you'll make a couple $100s. You'll be listing a couple $100s worth of items in profit. And then let's just say that you were listing, the total for the week. If each day you're pulling out $200 or $300 in profit, from a store like this, or in gross sales, and your profit's 120 over 3 days, let's just say you could do $400 in profit. You worked 24 hours, so you're a little less than $20 an hour, 17, 18. And eventually you'll build that up. But that's why I get rid of all the sourcing and just have everything bulk shipped to me, and I can list, and I can increase the amount of money I'm making per hour, reduce the amount of time, gas, mileage I'm spending, even though they are deductible. You never get your full use of your money and your gas and your mileage, slightly used. But that's basically how you would do it going around to thrift stores. Now, of course, if you add in garage sales, estate sales, things on the weekend, you go thrifting 3 times a week and then spend 1 weekend day, so you're working 4 days a week, you can build this into full-time income, but it's going to take 30 hours a week. You don't have to work 80 hours a week. You can work 30 or 40 and start building your store up to you making $20 an hour. All week long, you could start making $500 to $1,000 a week in profit, just working a normal scheduled routine, 30, 40 hours worth of sourcing and listing and prepping, and then, a little bit of time shipping. Not big deal, not a huge thing to ship 3 or 4 items a day, 20 minutes, you're done. But yeah, that's pretty much the story of how I built my business, coming in and out of thrift stores and garage sales and all that sort of thing. And a lot of people still do to this day. Now, for me, it's not scalability, but it's building blocks. It's stepping stones to get to where you want to be able to make this money and then reinvest the money in having pallets delivered to you or bulk purchases or whatever it is you choose to do. All right, so now that I'm back home, just wanted to give you guys a look at the thrift stores. It just, for me, is not a good use of time, but for anybody who's new or who's just starting out in reselling or converting over to it, it's a great way to build a business. Thrift stores, yard sales, estate sales can build you up to a couple, anywhere from a few hundred a month in profit to a few $1,000s a month, and even up into 6 figures if you really apply yourself, work full time, make a routine, make a schedule, make a route, list, ship, target some higher dollar items, maybe go after those estate sale, yard sale items that are $50 and $100, and then, during the week, fill your store with $20 and $30 items from thrift stores, pull out those, golden goose egg items once in a while from the thrift stores that are, vintage shirts or real $50, Beach Boy shirts, whatever it is, what I'm talking about, $30, $40 shoes. And over the course of time, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, you can be doing $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, $10,000 a month on eBay or Posh or a combination thereof. Of course, using List Perfectly to cross list will help you do that as well. So that's just another look. I could still always go to the thrift stores, find inventory, run the routes all day long, go to pawn shops, make money. I've just found scalability and buying bulk and wholesale is just way better. If you're interested in that, Wholesale is of course one of the best sites to do it on. I'll put a link down below for Wholesale. Completely free to sign up, create an account, and you can start browsing inventory right away. So go check that out. You can also sell your inventory on there if you choose. And as always, I appreciate you guys watching. Hit the like button. I've got 2 or 3 videos coming out the rest of today and tomorrow, so stay tuned to that. Make sure you're subscribed. Turn that little notification bell on. You won't miss any of the videos. We're going to talk about the eBay harassment case against Ina Steiner update. We're going to talk about the lows of Poshmark selling and moving over to other platforms. We're going to talk about maybe the Jomar case and a whole bunch of other stuff. So come on back, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time.